Hey guys, good morning. So it's I guess the start of the ninth week now. Um, it's a pretty big deal, I guess. Thinking about that, miss my kids and my family, miss my little doggy. But I got to speak to my kids at length yesterday, and they're right behind their dad, which is neat. So happy Labor Day to all you folks out there. Um, Not a whole lot has happened since I did my night videos last night. I get pretty severe migraines from time to time, and I seem to have got one last night, and that kind of put me out of commission for most of the night. So not a lot to tell you there. There were a couple of talking points I know I woke up in the middle of the night and wanted to share with you guys, but right now it's escaped me. So I just wanted to kind of give you a recap, maybe not a recap, but tell you a little bit about where I'm hoping to head today and this week. A lot of people are asking about that, and just kind of give you one or two thoughts that I had, or comments I wanted to make. So I'm here in Claremore, Oklahoma, and the weather right now is pretty nice out, but the forecast is it's supposed to be a little dicey later today, and I got to look down the line a little bit. Not far from Tulsa. Chances are, if I really wanted to push it, I could probably try to get into Tulsa today, the outskirts. But I want to do 2 days in Tulsa. One, because I got to take care of some banking or business, as I call it, down in the southern part of the city. And Tulsa's a pretty big city, so sometimes I get to these cities and you can do 20 miles. Like Chicago was, my God, I could have done 3 days just doing 20 miles in Chicago alone, from one end to the other and out. So I don't have anything really set up yet. I do, well, I shouldn't say that. Well, let me tell you a little bit about my schedule. Now, the only thing, as I say, my schedule right now is completely not in ink. As I get further along, towns become a little different. The people are becoming, the people, I guess, aren't being different. What I'm saying is the people have been maybe more aware of my coming to town. So some folks are reaching out, and like this morning, someone reached out to me last night and said, "Hey, my cousins had told me about you, or somebody had told me about you, and would love to get to meet you tomorrow if you're available for late breakfast, lunch, or something like that." And that's I can walk 10 hours and meet nobody. I can walk 10 hours and meet after I meet somebody, kind of thing. So again, my schedule, that's what I'm trying to talk about when I say my schedule isn't necessarily written down and where I need to adhere to it. So as an example, because I'm going to meet these folks today, I don't think I'll be able to do a full 20. Catoosa down the road also has the famous blue whale landmark, is going to be my goal for today. So that's not quite 20 miles, but I think, again, this is the trade-off of I'd much rather meet the folks. The people of Oklahoma have been spectacular, as were the folks of Kansas, as was everybody in this journey, quite frankly. But so let me just tell you about kind of my schedule as I see it now. I'm going to try to hit Catoosa today, or I will hit Catoosa today, unless something strange happens where I get into Tulsa. I'm going to try to do Tulsa Tuesday, and I think someone who knew Mike is going to be reaching out to me in Tulsa, so I may have somewhere to stay there. But I'm going to try to do Tulsa 2 days, because I know there's kind of a northern, and it's a bigger city. So I also, I haven't heard from any media out there. I know some folks that said they reached out to different media outlets, and maybe with Labor Day weekend, I don't know what happens. I know Monday's usually a slower news day, but I don't know how the holiday affects things. But anyway, I certainly would always any kind of exposure we can get for pointing the thumb, and the journey is always a good thing. But so I'm gonna try to do Catoosa today, Tulsa Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday is a town called Sapulpa. But Thursday I've got a kind of a curveball to throw at you guys. So I gotta find if I get somewhere to be, whether it be a restaurant, somewhere with a Wi-Fi, someone's home. For about 30-something years now, I've been doing a fantasy football draft with my childhood best friend Steve and Al. And if you go way back to my videos on YouTube, you'll see how much they mean to me. Probably one of the first videos I ever did was talking about Al Mock and what a great man he is and what he's meant to me. So this guy's 85 years old and still hustling me in fantasy football. But so Thursday night is opening night of the NFL season, but it's also this draft, which will be about 5:30 my time here in the Central Time Zone. Um, I was just thinking, I don't know when the next time zone changes, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's in Oklahoma when I get to Texas or New Mexico. Anyway, I could try to look that up. But I've got an ant crawling around over here. Anyway, so Thursday I'm looking to hit the Sepulpa, but I do need to make myself available for 2 or 3 hours where I'm out of touch with everybody. Friday seems to be a town called Bristow, and then this gets a really starts to get into where I get into those distances to towns. I don't know these towns. I know Chandler. I've heard of Chandler, but I don't know Stroud. But leaving Bristow on Friday to get to Saturday, Chandler seems to be quite a bit away. I don't think I can make Chandler, although that's the bigger city. So it's a town called Stroud. So Saturday, and this is going to be kind of liquid. I'll just kind of see how the weather goes, how the lakes feel. So Saturday might be Stroud or Chandler, and then Sunday and Monday of next week, I'd like to try to do Oklahoma City. I did have someone reach out to me yesterday from a town called Arcadia, which I believe is just northeast of OKC. So it looks like I'll see if I have something set up for there. I definitely want to get to the OKC Memorial for I don't know what they call it. If it's just the OKC Memorial, the federal building. I'm not sure what they call it, but again, this is where I'm kind of ignorant. And I want to spend some time there for me and for you guys. And then spend 2 days in Oklahoma City. And again, that probably will be my last media market of any substance. So hopefully we can reach out to those guys and they can kind of hope to spread the word of pointing the thumb. Because after that, it's a lot of small towns, I think, and then just a few big cities before the West Coast. A few big cities being Amarillo, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, and then from there. Now, I do have some things, let me take advantage of that right now, because people have asked me, what I'd like to do selfishly. So there are some really things that could make this journey cool, in a sense that, I'd love to experience being I'm going to be this close. So there's one thing when I get out near Gallup, New Mexico. I don't know how far it is, but there's a spot in our country where you can stand if you have a square, 4 squares, and that little is what they call 4 states. And I just think it'd be really, really cool to say I was, standing in 4 states at one time or thereabouts. So that's a really cool thing. But of course, when you're walking, 1 mile off the highway seems to take forever and kill me. So 50 miles off the highway would certainly be a lot. But maybe there's some campsite or camper or RV group going through and who knows what happened. So that's one thing. Another thing again is I'm going to be, I think Flagstaff is not all that far from the Grand Canyon, and that would be kind of cool to think I'm that close to the Grand Canyon. The next one's kind of cool, and I'm even wrestling with walking up that way. When I get past, I'm not sure where it is, past Flagstaff, Kingman, I think Kingman, Arizona. I think when I get to Kingman, Arizona, I can take 66 out through, through Eastern California. I think if I drop down for Route 10, someone told me if I went kind of down towards the Phoenix way, I can come up Route 10, which I think would take me through Palm Springs and Palm Desert. Or I can kind of go up north and walk through some mountains and get to Las Vegas, which I've never ever been. And it's probably a good thing. But again, to be that close to Vegas and the Grand Canyon and the Four Corners, almost tempting for me to kind of say, you know what, let me take a day and try to get up there. Even if I got to drop my backpack off somewhere and rent a bicycle or something, I don't know. So those are some cool things. And again, if I did Vegas, I can kind of come through California. I think through Barstow, just kind of north of LA a little bit, and then shoot on down. So, this journey is going to take me where it takes me. I'm not in control of it, but those were a few things that selfishly, if I found a way to get there, I would. The only other thing I really wanted to talk about today was I like to give props to people. So far, every state and nearly every person I've met, almost to the person, has really been pretty fantastic to me. Not perfect. I'm trying to certainly accentuate the positive, but there hasn't been a lot of negative to gloss over or to really talk about. But each state has its own kind of character to it and its own little anomalies or idiosyncrasies, I guess I should say. And in Oklahoma, what's been a blessing and really neat is while I've gone through these small towns, more than any other state, have the folks. It started, I guess, in Cuba, Missouri, with Anna Lee and her family, and that got me through a few towns in Missouri. But here in Oklahoma so far, almost since Kansas, I've been riding this wave of people who either just are so giving or just believe in me or the journey or whatever it might be, but they are reaching out ahead to towns and saying, hey, you got to kind of meet this guy and talk to him. He's a really good guy and has a nice message, and we want to take care of him, for him and his kids. The sun is, I don't know how to get my, there we go. Not that you want to see my face, but anyway. So anyway, the one thing I want to give the folks of Oklahoma a special thanks for is more so than any other state, have the folks reached ahead, almost not kind of like, hey, guys, I posted to Facebook and met this guy and it's got a good story. Like, these people are working at it the same way, Steve, my navigator, and Scott, my other navigator from Ohio, kind of work on my behalf to kind of just make sure that maybe some media hears about me, or that I'm not sleeping outside if we could avoid it. Although I honestly don't mind that, guys. And anyway, so I'm going to wrap up. That's my schedule for this week, tentatively. I got to do some wash here this morning, and I'm going to be meeting some folks for a late breakfast, early lunch, and then I'll be on my way down to the Blue Whale. So thanks for following. I love you guys. I hope I didn't do anybody any injustice yesterday that I'm overlooking. I tried to speak about all the folks in some detail, but sometimes I talk to other people at restaurants or on the street or at a mini mart, and I forget. I talk so much that I forget what I've said and who I've said it about. So anyway, love you all. Thank you for following, and I'll keep you updated. The midday should be good. Stay tuned for the pictures of the Blue Whale and maybe some history about that. So all right, guys, have a great day. Have a great Labor Day. Kira, thank you for your videos. I did post another one this morning. You're right, you do have me crying when I watch those things. Landon, please keep behaving yourself. I'm proud of you. I heard you handled yourself really well yesterday in terms of your character and your behavior at the baseball tournament. You're not going to win every game. You're not going to get hit every time up. So, I understand that. Just keep playing hard, buddy. I love you. I think, Grace, I think you're with your dad's family today. So enjoy that. And everybody back home, thank you, guys. Little Luna, I miss you, Luna Bell. Marianne sent me a picture of you last night, so I miss you too. And we'll talk soon, everybody. Take care now.